just want to bring up, we're looking at rockuniversity.com right now. Um, and we do have all of our trainings here. If you go under training schedule, you can always see what we have coming up. So of course, today we're staying on top of the new Instagram with, very excited to have Molly with us. So we're jumping into that, but we've got Rockstar Business Planning next week. We're gonna go through and talk about how the market's shifting and how you can reevaluate what maybe your business plan was at the beginning of the year, right? You got to be flexible with change. Hi, Jocelyn. Good afternoon. And be able to kind of roll with the punches. I guess you could say it that way. We're also going to be talking about HomeBot the following week, generate listings, but you can always go to rockuniversity.com and take a look at all the different trainings that we have coming up. Also, up at the top, we have a button here that says Find My Rockstar. So if you haven't worked with Rock Title yet, or you don't know who your sales executive would be, or your escrow officer, you can always come here and take a look at the list. Both Arizona and Nevada is listed. So we have our escrow team on the left and our sales team on the right. If you still don't know, or you're a little confused on who it may be, just reach out to me, Justin at rocktitle.com, Justin at roctitle.com, and I'll be happy to get you matched up with our sales executive and escrow team so that they can go more in depth on all the different tools and value that we can offer you. And with that said, since we are talking about Instagram today, let me come over here or make it a little fun. I did this earlier in the week, but at the bottom here, I don't know if you can see it. It might show, there we go. So you see Rock University's Instagram handle on the bottom left. If everyone could go pull out their phone, if you have Instagram already downloaded, and you can go follow us, I would greatly appreciate it. Plus, I will pick someone from who follows us today, since you get notified who follows. So I'll pull that list, and I will pick a winner for a $50 gift card or gift certificate for rockstarshop.com. So you can go get yourself some Rock Title swag. We have some very cool things on there, like a wireless phone charger and things like that. That's super cool. So if everyone can go follow Rock University as they all start popping in, appreciate it. And then I will pick a winner and get that announced later today for you guys. So with that said, today we're talking about the new Instagram, right? I was joking with them, Molly, earlier, because every training I talk about video, everything is video. And I'm excited because I have a feeling you're going to talk about video and it's not going to just be me today. So
no,
that'll
I
be
am.
awesome.
I'm going to talk about a lot of stuff. And I'm actually
Very
going
cool.
to, I have my presentation, but I'm also going to share my phone screen, and we're going to kind of go through some live actual examples because I manage so many different accounts, and I'm just going to show you guys some of the differences with some of the accounts. And we're going to talk a little bit about how, Instagram, it's a necessary evil, right? We need it, but they don't necessarily make it easy on us, and they haven't been making it any easier on us, right? So we're just going to chat a little bit about that and chat a little bit about how you can kind of stay on top of what's going on. And whenever you're ready, Justin, I'll get started.
For sure. Yeah, and just a quick introduction. Obviously, you know her name is Molly now, but Molly Zahn, she's a social media manager. Like you said, she manages a lot of different accounts for agents and teams here in the Valley. Do you work with agents outside of Arizona, or?
I have one agent in California, in Santa Cruz.
Sweet.
And then I don't manage any of their accounts, but I have a network in the Pacific Northwest as well. And I
Awesome.
go out there and do a lot of seminars and coaching and classes. And my business partner, Claire, my photographer, she and I will go out there and do kind of content shoots.
Very cool.
Because we have a good friend out there that works for Finance of America Mortgage. And but no, most of my work is done here in the Valley. Yes.
Beautiful Arizona. Awesome. Well, we do have both agents from Arizona on the call and Nevada. There may be some Utah ones as well, but you guys can always go to mzahnsocial.com. You see that on screen there to learn more about Molly as well and all of her different things that she offers as well. So I'm going to go ahead
Yes.
and stop the share and let you jump in.
Perfect. And I do actually, it's actually now that I'm thinking about it, I do have a lender that I work with in Lake Tahoe. So I do a
Oh,
little bit of
nice.
Nevada, California border stuff for her. So
Very cool.
I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. And let's optimize for a video clip. Okay, so staying on top of the new Instagram. If you guys have any questions that come to mind, feel free to drop them in the chat. And then at the end of the course, I will go through the chat and I will answer all those questions for you. So staying on top of the new Instagram, what does that even mean, right? What is the new Instagram? So let's kind of start from the beginning. First things first, Justin, thank you for the intro. My name is Molly Zahn. I'm the owner and CEO of Molly Zahn Social Media. I work primarily with real estate professionals, and my biggest goal is to help them create a better online social life organically through creative and relatable content, and to just essentially help them build relationships, sustain relationships, maintain relationships, and build their referral network. So Instagram today. So let's start from the very beginning when Instagram decided they were going to be rolling out all these new features. So on June 30th, 2021, so over a year ago, the head of Instagram, Adam Mosseri, he said Instagram is no longer a photo sharing app. And everyone lost their marbles a little bit. Everyone was, worried, concerned. What does this mean? He said that it will be focusing on general entertainment driven by algorithms and videos. Reels and video have been seeing a significant favor to compete with the likes of applications such as TikTok and YouTube. Some of you may be aware, some of you may not be aware, but TikTok has been dominating the short-term video market, and Instagram has been doing everything they can to not only keep up, but try to beat TikTok. Instagram beat out Snapchat for a while when it came to stories. And so I think that they thought they were able to do the same thing with TikTok. This is proving to not be the case. And we're going to kind of get into that a little bit more. First things first, when it comes to knowing how to use Instagram today, is you have to be aware of the features. And these are going to be the 5 features that you need to be focused on most. And that is going to be your static content, your video content, Instagram Live, Reels, and Instagram Stories. Knowing how to use these features is going to be a huge driver in standing out on this platform. And that includes how often you should be using these types of features as well. So first things first, let's talk about static feed posts. This is the example I chose, a good old fashioned trending meme. I don't know if you guys, this meme came out, a month or two ago. It was pretty popular. Static posts are essentially for photography. They are for graphics, and they're for carousel posts. For those that are not sure what a carousel post is, it is going to be a static post that has multiple slides. So you can slide through and see multiple static posts in one. So how should you use this feature? I believe that static posts are primarily there to build brand awareness. I believe there is still very much a space for static posts, especially where graphic design is concerned, because when it comes to your brand colors, your brand fonts, all that good stuff, that's where brand recognition is built. So if you don't have any graphics to show off your brand, it can be a little difficult for people to, place you with your brand. So definitely keep posting those graphics, keep posting that educational information with your brand colors and fonts. I also believe that sharing educational content is great for static posts, especially when it comes to carousel images. So if you're doing a carousel post, for instance, and you have, let's say you want to do 5 reasons why selling in this market is a good idea. Instead of doing a photo and then placing those 5 reasons in the caption, a great way to increase engagement and increase time, user time on your post, you can take those 5 reasons and you can give them their own graphic, put together a carousel post, keep the caption short and sweet, and that allows for a much more consumable way for people to, take in the overall message that you're trying to achieve. Another great way to use static feed posts are going to be through shareable content. So again, through memes, inspirational quotes, anything valuable, anything that is extremely topical, and of course, anything personal. I believe there's still very much a space for photography, especially on a personal level. If you're on a family vacation, if you are, doing something unique, special, traveling somewhere, people, they want to see the person behind the business. And I think that static photography is a great way to do that. Next, we have stories. Pre-pandemic, stories were a place to grow. People thought, that you needed to put hashtags in stories. You needed to tag your location. You needed to tag every single person that was with you, the restaurant you were at, basically putting all this effort into your stories. However, stories has shifted, and it is no longer a place that you need to be putting all of your. Don't spend too much time in stories. I always say there's no rules when it comes to stories. The content should be very in the moment. It should be behind the scenes. It should be very casual. It should be very personal. This is where you're going to retain your followers. So you're not necessarily trying to capture new audiences. You're trying to retain the people that are already following you. And the best way to do this is to be as active on stories as you can. So showcasing who you are and your personality is a really, really great way to utilize stories. I love using stories to show my dogs. I like using stories to show my travels. I like using stories to rant about a thing that inconvenienced me that day. I like, to post stories about something funny that I'm seeing, out in the field. Regardless, stories are a place where you can be totally and utterly yourself. And it's just a really great way to show people who you are behind the business. And it's actually a known fact that more people look at stories than they do scroll through their feed. And we're going to kind of get into why that is, as I'm sure a lot of you may have noticed changes to your Instagram feed. A lot of people, they miss seeing their friends, they miss seeing their family, and they're tired of seeing ads and these recommended posts that nobody asked for on their feed, right? So they go to stories to see what's going on. So it's important that you stay active on your stories. So to show you this example here, this is just a behind the scenes shoot of my intern and a client shooting reels. Really nothing fancy happening here, but just showing people a little bit of what's going on behind the curtain. You can also cultivate a lot of engagement in stories by utilizing things such as interactive polls, stickers, quizzes. You can also make your life easy, and you can reshare reels, posts, anything that you find valuable or that your clientele might find valuable. Share that into your stories and then create a conversation about it. Reels. This is the big one. You can't hear the sound because it cut off, but we're actually going to go through some examples of reels. I'm going to take us to Instagram here in a moment because I feel like we should spend a little time talking about reels because they are the cool older sister of Instagram right now, right? It's been made very clear by Instagram. It's been made very clear by a lot of marketing experts that you have to start implementing reels into your strategy. But there is something that a lot of people, there's a misconception about reels and what type of reels you need to be posting. So we're going to kind of go through some examples. Type of content, entertaining, of course. Entertaining reels are always going to perform to some sort of level, right? People like to be entertained. Sharing valuable information. If you can create a reel that is shareable, that is where you're going to see your performance boost, because when people share your reel, those views that are seen in a person's story count towards the overall viewership of your reel. So it's obviously, if you can really find a way to hone in on getting people to share your reels, there's a likelihood that you will see those views go up. And of course, if you can, be creative. Now, I know that not everybody took improv classes in college. Not everybody's great in front of the camera. And that doesn't make anybody less of a great realtor. It doesn't make anybody less of a great business owner. Because the truth is that for people that saw that, for the people that came into the industry, 5-10 years ago, who would have thought that now you would be forced to be this personality, right? So I think that's one of the things that people are struggling with the most when it comes to reels. And we're going to talk a little bit about kind of how to get over maybe that camera shyness, and how to make reels work for you, even if you are not the video type of person. How and why should you be using reels? Well, obviously to grow and reach accounts that aren't following you. Instagram has made it very clear that reels is the fastest and easiest way to reach mass amounts of people. Since they're pushing reels to compete with TikTok, the people that are utilizing reels are typically being rewarded by seeing an increase in viewership. Now, if you can reach a lot of accounts, that's great, because the more reach, the more opportunity for follows, the more opportunity to build relationships, the more opportunity for engagement. You can use reels in a number of different ways. Quick tips, hacks for your industry, shareable content, funny, inspiring, interesting. If you are somebody who has a good sense of humor and is not camera shy, I recommend you utilize reels. I like to think of reels as kind of like a commercial, but not salesy. So I'm going to show you some examples where we can actually hear the sound of what these reels sound like. We're going to go onto my Instagram, so I can't be held liable for anything that pops up. Okay, so just want to make that clear. So I'm going to show you guys a couple of my reels. And I am going to show you this one in particular because I think this one's got a good message behind it.
What type of content is Instagram favoring most? Obviously, I'm going to say video, so we can just get that out of the way. But the real question is what kind of video? The answer is original content. So what does that look like? Well, first things first, although trends are always great to participate in, it's a little saturated, right? Reels are very saturated with the same trends over and over again. That's why you might be noticing like a drop off in your views if you are someone who's been using a lot of trends in your reel strategy. So that means that original audio, like what I'm doing here, just talking to the camera, I guarantee that something like this is going to perform a lot better than if I were to participate in, some sort of trend that is on the rise. And that may seem confusing because we've been told so much that trending audio helps with visibility, which is true. But it's all about mixing in original stuff as well, because that is what Instagram is telling us we need to do in order to be more visible. So get creative and get authentic. What type of...
So this reel, if we go here, this reel in particular ended up being one of my top performing reels with 9,333 views. I didn't use any original. I didn't use any trending audio. I didn't use a fancy camera. I didn't dress up or do my hair. I simply just spoke to the camera, shared a little bit of information based off of my own research, and it performed very well. And it just goes to show you that reels don't have to be this. Look, this reel did not do nearly as well. But it's funny. Que tú me tienes temblando de noche y de día. And what the old Instagram would have told us is that something like this would have outperformed something like this, but that's not the way it's working anymore. How it's working now is Instagram is prioritizing original creators. They want to see people be creative. They want to stop seeing people piggyback off of original creators. Does that mean that we need to stop doing trends? Does that mean we need to stop having fun? I mean, another one, this one performed well and it was a trend.
What you know about me? What you know? It's my lip gloss is cool. My lip gloss be popping. I'm know about me.
So as you can see, I try to mix in my reels where I'm talking and I'm sharing valuable information, but I also try to mix in some fun stuff as well, just to kind of things kind of moving and grooving. So another really popular type of reel that we've been seeing, very similar to what I just showed you.
Did the government just make it harder to buy a house? Well, sort of. The US Federal Reserve has been keeping rates low by buying mortgage bonds. They actually kept the rates so low that it made the cost of borrowing money super cheap and stimulated more borrowing and more money into the economy. This is part of the reason why home prices were rising so fast. Well, as of a couple months ago, they said they were gonna stop doing this, which has caused home loan rates to rise. So you can still get a mortgage at a fair rate of interest, but it's just no longer crazy low like it was last year. For people that can afford to buy a home, this doesn't affect them too much, but it does reduce purchasing power, which will cause buying demand to cool off a little. Did the government just
Again,
make it
very serious, very to the point, cut and dry. And then something like this. Where is it? So as you can see here, the correlation, I guess, that I'm trying to show you between my account and Melissa's account here is she and I both do we try our best to incorporate the serious and the fun and the funny, right? When it comes to reels. And the best part about the serious type of stuff, like obviously she hires a professional videographer for this, but the video that I just did that on my iPhone with my ring light. It took me maybe a few moments. So I think a lot of people, when they think reels, they think it's time to bust out, the acting chops. But the truth of the matter is that's not necessarily required. What's required is authenticism, being valuable, serving your audience. And if you can have a little fun while doing it, then, well, you're doing it correctly. So let's jump back into the presentation. Let's talk about video. I'm going to pause. So this update that's coming, and I'm going to talk more about this, but pretty soon, all video will be reels. So if you did not know, there is reels and then there's video. Video is going to be just like a regular post, only obviously it's a video form. Reels are going to be reels. They're going to be, optimized like this, the 1080 by 1080. You can add special audio, all sorts of stuff, which you don't have those options with video. But one of Instagram's updates that they're working on is that all video will be formatted to reels. But when it comes to video, until they do that, I believe that video content should be, I believe the reels should be saved for kind of like the fun, more casual stuff. And I believe that that video should be reserved for educational, business related. If it can be creative, great. But really what we're looking for is to showcase that expertise, provide that value, promote business and listings, and get a glimpse into who you are as a professional. Now, yes, people want to see who you are as a person, but they also want to, I like that she's funny and she's cool and she seems like someone I'd want to have a beer with after work, but can she actually sell me a house? Can she actually help me take out a mortgage? And this is where something like this comes into play.
All right, so we're in week 7 of our 8-week series on dialing in your database. And this week we're going to talk about gifting. This database plan that I've introduced you to was modeled after a top producing realtor who in her last year of production closed 350 transactions. Out of those 350, she attributed 300 of them to her top 50 past clients. And I asked her, what did she think was the secret to generating that kind of referral business? And she said, gifting. And when I say gifting, I don't mean like the big glamorous closing gifts. Her magic pill was in the small, meaningful, thoughtful gifts. And so I highly recommend that you incorporate a gifting campaign into your process. One of my favorite things to do, like I had mentioned, is use social media to see what kind of life events that your clients are having. Did they get a puppy? Did they have a baby? Are they going on a vacation? What little things can you send them that make them feel like you see them and hear them? But also
I
in
won't
your
make us watch the entire thing. But side note, if you guys do not follow Amber Kovaric of the Kovaric team, she does a series every Friday called In the Know with Amber Co. And the series is directed towards real estate agents. And she shares so much valuable information on how real estate agents can use her tips, her tricks, and her partners' tricks to grow their real estate business. This was part 7 of an 8-part series that she did that was all about dialing in your database. And as we all know, with the market shifting and changing, I highly recommend that you guys check out her page, watch her videos. If you're somebody who is looking to find unique and creative ways to build your database while business slows. But again, what I love about her videos is that she is showcasing her authority. She's showing people like, hey, I know what I'm talking about and I'm here to help you. I'm here to serve you. And I think that that is one of the things that we miss a lot with this new Instagram is we're so focused on vanity metrics and views and likes and follows that we're missing the point. And the point is building relationships. And you can build relationships and you can still get 5 likes on a post and still build relationships inside your DMs by responding to one comment on that post that got 5 likes. I'm not going to touch too much on Instagram Live because I don't have an example, hence why you got to be live to go live. But what I am going to talk about going live is that it is a great way to grow your followers. Here's a couple reasons why. 1, when you go live, you can go live with up to 4 other people. What happens then is all 4 of you now have access to each other's networks, and every single person that follows you gets a notification that you've gone live. So let's say there's 4 of you that have 1,000 followers. That's 4,000 people that are getting a notification that you've gone live. In this live, you can do things like Q&A. You can do interviews. You can provide tips. If you are if you're a real estate agent, you can go live with a home inspector and you can ask them about the home inspection process. And what's great is now you guys have this crossover with each other's followers. And now this home inspector, their followers might follow you and, vice versa. Now, if you're doing this going live, right? If you're going live once or twice a month and you're being consistent with it, it's inevitable that you should see some growth. And you're also going to see some like repeatability with like with your client base and the client base of your affiliates. So if you are nervous about going live, shake those jitters off, because I promise you that it can be really, really helpful in growing your audience. And it's a great way to stand out. But what I really want to touch on is hashtags, because this is one of the biggest things that people ask me about with the new Instagram. Should I still be using hashtags? We hear so many different things, right? You only should be using 5 to 6 hashtags. No, you should be using all 30 hashtags. And to be honest with you, there are no rules with hashtags. And I say that because there are too many rules. And I mean, how many people can be wrong in order to be right is how I look at it. So yes, hashtags still work. However, they must be relevant. They must be relevant to what it is that you're posting about. If you are using a hashtag to try to hack the algorithm, it's not going to work. And we're going to talk about why that is. And don't feel the need to go overboard. I don't use all 30 hashtags. I typically will use anywhere between 10 to 15 hashtags, and I make sure they're super relevant, they're super niche. I do my research, and I do my research by simply going onto Instagram. Oops. And I do this. Okay. So AZ Real Estate has this, how many people are using this hashtag? Okay. AZ Realty has a large but smaller number. So maybe I would use this hashtag as it pertained to my post. Maybe I would do AZ Real Estate team if I were a team lead. This only has 2,901 posts. So if there was somebody that was looking to either join a team or work with a team, maybe they would search this hashtag. The likelihood that your post would show up is pretty strong. The idea is you want to have a good mixture of anywhere between a number like this and a number like this, right? And you want to kind of find happy mediums for both. If you're doing like a explore AZ, maybe you're doing a hiking post, you can kind of see again how many people are using these hashtags. Spending the time to research your hashtags does not take long, and it can really be super useful in making sure that you're using the right ones that are relevant to your post. For Reels, there are some, now this is just me, okay? And if there's one thing that I hate to call myself as an Instagram expert or Instagram guru. A lot of people love to use that term, but if I'm being fully transparent with you, I don't think anybody's an Instagram expert. I don't think anyone's an Instagram guru, because the app is changing and evolving so quickly that we're all just trying to keep up at this point. So I'm just sharing with you my information based on the results that I've received. And when it comes to hashtags for Reels, you want to put it in the caption. Don't drop it in the comments. 5 to 10 is best. Keep it super, super relevant. Do your research and mix it up. Don't use the same hashtag group for every type of reel. If you're doing a reel that's a meme or a funny real estate meme, switch it up a little bit, don't be afraid to kind of to roll the dice. I like to call reels at the current moment, putting the quarter into the slot machine. Sometimes you're going to get a hitter, sometimes you're going to get a flopper, and that's just the way it is. Not every piece of content needs to land. What matters is that the hashtags you're using means that it's reaching the right audience. Now, let's talk about the real king of the world, and that's keywords, baby. So using keywords is super important right now. Instagram, if any of you are on TikTok or have used TikTok, you should be aware that TikTok's search engine is unmatched. I can find any video, any audio by literally putting in like 3 words, and somehow TikTok just knows what I'm looking for. Instagram has yet to master this, but they are working on it. And if you want to be ahead of the curve, you got to use these keywords. So using relevant keywords to optimize your visibility is going to be great. Your copy, AKA your captions, should still read organically. You don't want to sound like a robot, right? You don't want to say like, real estate is great. I love real estate. You should hire me as your real estate agent. If you don't, you're going to hire a real estate agent who's not good at real estate, right? We don't want to do that. That sounds stupid. But for instance, this is a very short caption, but I made sure to mention reels 3 times. And I did that on purpose because when somebody maybe types in reels or social media reels, my name with reels, hopefully this post would pop up, especially if they're searching Google. Keywords on Instagram now have an effect on your Google ranking. So, get creative with those keywords. Don't feel the need to mini blog, don't feel the need to make your captions super, super long, stuffed with keywords. Keep it short, keep it sweet, and and make sure that the content is still consumable, but make sure that you're working those keywords in. Also, work those keywords into your bio. Hashtags in your bio do not work. If you have hashtags in your bio, nix it. Instead, stuff it with keywords. So Instagram Reels in real estate, those are the keywords. Social, referral. These are things that I talk about most when it comes to the overall operations of my business. So I want to make sure that those keywords are in there. Another way to add keywords is alt text. If you are familiar with this, good on you. If you're not, I'm going to show you a really fun trick to add more keywords to your post. So let's say you're getting ready to post a post. Okay, it should look something like this. You're going to scroll all the way down to your advanced settings. You're going to notice that you have all these options, including write alt text. Now, alt text is meant for the visually impaired. So you should be describing what's in the image. This is a margarita. So in what I would write in here is I would say person or girl holding a terracotta mug with margarita at the Pemberton in downtown Phoenix. And then I would underneath that type Arizona foodie, Foodstagram, hot spots in Arizona, local food, local places to eat in Arizona, Arizona realtor, Arizona real estate. I would just fill this thing up with hashtags, keywords, you name it. Because although it cannot be seen, it is still registering on Google, and it is still registering in Instagram's searchability. So this is a little fun trick. Alt text, it takes you maybe an extra 10 minutes when you're posting, but it's worth it, and I recommend using it. So another question I get a lot is, Molly, what the hell is happening with my feed? Where are my friends? Why am I getting ads for couches I can't afford? Why am I getting ads for t-shirts that I hate? Where are my friends? Where are the people that I'm following? I don't want to see all of this nonsense anymore. Well, you can switch up your feed. So when you go home, right, your home feed is going to look something like this. When you scroll, this is where you're going to get those Facebook recommendations. And a Facebook recommendation is Instagram pushing you content from accounts that you don't follow based on your behavior online. A lot of the time it's ad driven. Some of the time it's just somebody that you might know that's a friend of a friend. Sometimes it is a product that you mentioned out loud and your Amazon Alexa heard it. But there's a way for you to avoid these recommendations. So when you come home, this Instagram, you're going to click it. You have two options. You have your following, and then you have your favorites. When you click your following feed, it's going to look like this. And it's going to be every single person that you're following, and their posts will be posted in chronological order. This is really nice because you can actually see and use Instagram the way that it was meant to be used when it, came about in 2011. And that is instant posting from people that you follow. So you'll see here, like when I was scrolling here, 39 minutes ago, you're not seeing posts that were posted 3 days ago in your following feed. You're seeing them in a chronological order, and it's only people you follow. So you should hopefully be avoiding ads. Next up is going to be your favorites feed. Now, you guys, I'm going to show you how to use your favorites feed. So bear with me, okay? Because you guys are going to love this. If you don't already know how to use this, then this is going to blow your minds, I hope. I hope, right? That would be cool if it did. So we're going to hop over to my Instagram on my phone. I'm going to stop sharing my screen with you real quick, and I'm going to do a new share. Heyo, on my cell phone. Okay. Okay, perfect. Here we go. So I'm going to switch to my favorites feed. Now, this, you guys, is so cool because let's say you are a real estate agent and you want to see your clients' stuff and you only want to engage with your clients. What you can do is right up here, you can go in and you can search for your clients. So let's look for Justin Taylor. Justin, where are you? I know that I follow you, but that's okay. So let's do someone different. Let's say who's a client of mine. Let's go with, I already have her on here. Okay. Jackie Stowe. Okay, so she's a client of mine. I'm gonna add her. Okay, let's say I want to add, she's a client, they're a client, lead. There's a lead that you're working on, right? You can add them to your favorites. Then what happens is when you go to your favorites feed, you're only seeing content from your clients or your leads or the people that you're trying to work with. Therefore, you can interact with them without all the noise of the ads, the recommendations, anything like that. You're just getting content from the people that you want to see content from. And this is a really, really great tool for you to interact with the people that you want to do business with. So have fun with that one, guys. The favorites feed is a really, really good way for you to keep all of your leads and all of your clients in one place. All right, back to the presentation. Okay, there we go, present. Okay, so now that you know how to kind of work your different feed options, I'm gonna play this message from Adam Mosseri, okay? And if you're not following Adam Mosseri, he is the head of Instagram. He's the one that's been making all the changes. So we're gonna listen to this video so that you guys know this is a brand new video. This just came out, I think 2 days ago. So we're gonna go ahead and take a listen to this.
There's a lot going on Instagram right now. We're experimenting with a number of different changes to the app. And so we're hearing a lot of concerns from all of you. So I wanted to take a few moments and clarify a few things. One is, if you're seeing a new full screen version of a feed, or you're hearing about it, know that that is a test. It's a test to a few percentage of people out there, and the idea is that a more full screen experience, not only for videos, but for photos, might be a more fun, engaging experience. But I also want to be clear, it's not yet good, and we're gonna have to get it to a good place if we're gonna ship it to the rest of the Instagram community. The second thing I'm hearing a lot of concerns about right now are photos and how we're shifting to video. Now, I want to be clear. We're going to continue to support photos. It's part of our heritage. I love photos. I know a lot of you out there love photos too. That said, I need to be honest. I do believe that more and more of Instagram is going to become video over time. We see this even if we change nothing. We see this even if you just look at chronological feed. If you look at what people share on Instagram, that's shifting more and more to videos over time. If you look at what people like and consume and view on Instagram, that's also shifting more and more to video over time, even when we stop changing anything. So we're going to have to lean into that shift while continuing to support photos. The third thing I want to talk about is recommendations. Recommendations are posts in your feed from accounts that you do not follow. The idea is to help you discover new and interesting things on Instagram that you might not know even exist. Now, if you're seeing things in your feed that are recommendations that you're not interested in, that means that we're doing a bad job ranking and we need to improve. And you can X out a recommendation. You can even snooze all recommendations for up to a month or go to your following feed. But we're going to continue to try and get better at recommendations because we think it's one of the most effective and important ways to help creators reach more people. We want to do our best by creators, particularly small creators, and we see recommendations as one of the best ways to help them reach a new audience and grow their following. Now, this is a lot of change all at once, but know that a number of things about Instagram are going to stay the same. We're going to stay committed to creators more broadly. We're going to stay committed to supporting photos. We're going to stay in a place where we try and put your friends' content at the top of feed and the front of stories whenever possible. But we're also going to need to evolve because the world is changing quickly and we're going to have to change along with it. So please let me know what you think down in the comments and know that I'm going to continue to be here explaining our changes as we come up with them, the reasoning behind them, and give you the latest updates about what's going on Instagram. I'll see you soon. Peace.
So my takeaway from this essentially is that Instagram is working really, really, really hard to compete with TikTok. And I read through the comments of this post, you guys, and the comments were not positive. There's a movement happening on Instagram that is called Make Instagram Instagram Again. People do not want another TikTok. What they want is they want Instagram back. They want to be able to share photos, graphics. They want to be able to share art in ways that are not video format only. And a lot of creators were in the comments saying, you know, it's not about people are consuming video because they want to, it's because you're forcing us to. And that really resonated with me, as I'm sure it resonates with a lot of you. Nobody wants to be forced to create video in order to stay ahead of the game, right? However, as I mentioned before, there are ways that you can create video that are not labor intensive and ways that you can stay current. Even if you're posting 1 to 2 videos a week and the rest of your content is static and you remain consistent, you can still build your referral network organically. Now, if you're trying to take over the world and you're trying to blow up your business, Instagram might be a really hard place to do that right now. And that's just me being fully transparent. Everyone's engagement's down. The app is totally shifting. It's in the process of a major change. And I think writing it out for now and, you know, kind of moving with the ebbs and flows of the low engagement is going to be obviously a necessary part of the process. But how I look at it is that Instagram is not, it should not be viewed as a place to blow up your business. Instagram should be considered a storefront at this point. And this is why it is so important to still be on the app. If you think about it, in 2022, and I don't know about you guys, and maybe you all are different than me, but this is how I operate. If someone tells me, Molly, you have to check out this restaurant, it's so good, it's called Kala Scottsdale. I'm not going on Google and typing in Kala Scottsdale. You want to know what I'm doing? I'm going on Instagram. And if Kala Scottsdale's Instagram doesn't look appealing to me, guess what? I'm not going there. So if you're a real estate agent and you're giving up on Instagram because you don't want to do reels and because you're not seeing engagement on your posts, guess what? If Uncle Jim Bob refers Sam to you and Sam decides to go on to your Instagram and you are inactive, Sam may say this person does not appear to still be in business, nor do they seem to have pride in their business. So even if you're getting 5 likes, even if you're getting 2 likes, even if you're getting 53 views on your reels and it seems like nothing you're doing is working, let me tell you something. If you are not on the app, you are missing out because your referral business relies heavily on the vetting process. And although Google My Business and all that stuff still works together, right? Marketing is a pizza pie. Instagram is just a slice. I believe that when people are vetting the brand, the business, and the person, they're vetting them on Instagram. And after they get a feel for whether or not this is somebody that they look like they'd want to work with, then they're going to go to Google and maybe check out those Google reviews. That's just my 2 cents there. But now I'm going to give you a little bit of a short list of updates. And this is a short list, okay? Because there are so many updates, you guys. It's so hard to keep up with. And I know it can seem discouraging, but something that you should keep in mind is it's not a race, okay? You don't need to become an Instagram expert tomorrow to be successful in real estate. And I'm sure many of you have been in the industry long enough to know that. Those of you that are new to the industry know that it's okay to take things one day at a time. But some of the things that they will be testing, full screen testing is one of them, right? I'm going to show you what that looks like because I have one client who has it. And when she got it, I was like, this is sick. I can't wait to show everybody this. I'm curious what you guys think about this too. This is what it will look like if they decide to move forward with full screen testing. Okay. This is what it'll look like. Even photos will be full screen testing. You won't be able to see the likes or how many people have liked it. Looks familiar, doesn't it? Looks a lot like TikTok. So this is what the full screen update would look like. Now, I don't know about you guys. I'm not a fan. I hope that, oh, Britney Spears, here she goes again. But personally for me, I'm not a fan, but this might be a direction that Instagram is headed in. So it's good to know kind of what that looks like. In other, hello, there you are. Skip the slide. Okay, separate feeds. We talked about that, right? Reels updates. Honestly, I could do an entire class just on Reels updates. But the issue with that is that every account is different. So your Reels studio may look entirely different from the person next to you. So I didn't really feel the need to go too far into detail about Reels updates, but basically you can do all sorts of different things on Reels. I highly recommend that you spend the time to kind of do your own research on what's available to you, because what's available, I mean, it varies client to client, if I'm being totally honest. They're also doing 60-second stories. That has been rolled out to me personally, but now you can, instead of stories being 15 seconds long, you can now post 60-second stories. I think that's great. I think getting in stories as often as you can each day is really important. If you can get that face-to-face time with your clients, and the fact that you have a minute long to get what you need to say out in your stories is fantastic. I think that's a great update. Grid size testing. So what this means is when you guys see your Instagram grid, everything is in squares, right? They're looking to create more of a TikTok style grid size testing where they look like, basically your grid will look like the size of Reels. I've only seen this on 1 or 2 accounts in videos. I have not seen any client accounts receive grid size testing. I'm really hoping that they do not move forward with this. I think it's stupid. And I think that it will be a lot harder for people to make their grid feel cohesive. So we'll see what happens there. Video to Reels testing, as I mentioned, all videos will become Reels at some point. You can now boost Reels, which is great. So now you can create ads with Reels. The only problem with that is you have to be using original audio. You cannot add music or any sort of audio to your Reels. It has to be just like the one that I showed you where I was just talking to the camera, no music, no nothing. You're able to boost those Reels. You can also now import your own audio. So this is really great because if you're like me and you are on TikTok and you're like, oh my gosh, I love this audio, but you can't find it on Instagram to save your life, you can now save the video from TikTok and you can now import that audio into Reels. The only tricky thing is that you still need to credit it back to the original creator. So make sure that, you know, whoever's account is on, that it's being used on, just make sure instead of you naming it the original audio, you would go ahead and you would just say, like, for instance, for this one here, I imported this audio from TikTok, but what I did is I renamed it. Instead of it saying original audio Molly's on, I renamed it All Too Well Cover by the creator on TikTok that I took it for. This is just, you know, obviously, do I think that I would have been hit with copyright infringement if I didn't do this? No. But at the same time, do I want to risk it? No. So same thing kind of here. I renamed it SNL because this is a Saturday Night Live skit. We're going to watch it because it's funny. You guys will like this one. Oh, won't let me play the sound. That's okay. But you get the idea. Here goes. Okay. All right, that's enough nonsense. But you get the idea that if you are going to be importing your audio from TikTok, just make sure that you're crediting it back. That way, you just to avoid any issues. Also, what's really great is you can now pin posts. So if you have a reel or if you have a really topical post that performed well, you can now pin it to the top of your feed. So like if you want to showcase the work that you do, if you want to showcase like a before and after of a fix and flip, if you really want to maybe like an introduction of who you are, you can pin those posts, up to 3 of them, to the top of your feed. This allows for whoever comes onto your feed, the first 3 things they see are the first 3 things that you want them to see. And I think that gives, everyone a little bit of an advantage when it comes to showcasing who they are and who they're, like what their brand is. So now that we've gone over all of the really fun and exciting things that Instagram is bestowing upon us, here are some ways to stand out. If you are really looking to build relationships and you're having a hard time with engagement, I highly recommend that you use voice notes. So for instance, how I would challenge you is go into your favorites feed and add all your leads, all your clients, all the people that you wish to work with, and engage on your favorites. Then use voice notes, DM those people. And don't just shoot them a DM saying, hey, how are you? How's life? Love your content. I'm a realtor. You should hire me. Like all of that those cold DMs, you guys, are hurting you. Don't do that. Instead, use a voice note. Hey, what's up? My name is Molly. I came across your profile and I just love everything you're doing. Or, hey, my name is Molly. I saw that you just got married. Congratulations. If you're in the market to want to see homes, or obviously if you're thinking about growing your family and you want to see some great neighborhoods in the Gilbert area, I would love to help you. It doesn't even have to be business related. Use a voice note to say, hey, how are you? Just checking in. I know you guys have been in your home now for 3 years. How's it feel? How are you liking it? Are you interested in the home value and where it's at now? Using these voice notes offers a little bit of humanity and it makes people feel like you're talking directly to them. Cold DMs, just don't do it. Other ways to stand out, just start, you guys. If you are worried about being camera shy, if you're worried about posting videos, if you're worried about getting involved in reels, you have to just start. You have to get over it. I have it right down here. Get over yourself. Because let me tell you this, I'm going to put it into perspective for you. When you are watching and you're scrolling, I would say about 80% of your feed is probably video, and about 70% of that video is with someone's face on it. And I'm curious, how many times have you been like, wow, that person looks really, really dumb? I mean, for me, it's never, because I'm so used to consuming video content where people are showing their face. Everybody's doing it. It's totally normal. So if you are afraid of doing it, you have to get over yourself and you have to just do it. Just start. Don't be scared. And if people are judging you, and if that's what you're afraid of, a little piece of advice: nobody happier or more successful is judging you. Be authentic and real. As much as we love when people get dolled up and do the whole shebang with the filters and the wow factor, to be honest with you, I don't know about you guys, and I'm a social media manager. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted of following people that make me feel bad about myself. Wow, I should be working out more. Wow, I'm not waking up at 4 a.m. and writing my Peloton and then making my green smoothie before I write in my 5-minute journal, and then I get to work every day. Some of us just roll out of bed, brush our teeth, and hop on a call 5 minutes after we woke up. And that's okay. And a lot of people are like that. So if that's you, show that, connect with people, relate to people, because what Instagram is lacking is community. And if you could be somebody to create a community around just being who you are, you will have people for life. Post with purpose. Sometimes it's okay to post just to post, but really think about why you're posting. Are you posting to sell something? Are you posting to connect with somebody? Are you posting to inspire them? Are you posting to make them laugh? Are you posting to serve them? What is your purpose behind your post? And that comes along with your content strategy, which is something that you should be creating before you start posting. But at the same time, just starting and posting with purpose, your content strategy can come later on if that's really what works for you. At the end of the day, you just really need to think about your why behind the content that you're putting out there, and know what type of content goes with which feature. We talked about that, right? Knowing what feature is what, how to use it. If you are posting a photo of yourself as a reel with a caption, like you're not using that correctly. You should be using your reel as a video, some sort of short-term video, whether it's serving information, something humorous, something silly, something goofy, a day in the life. I love the day in the life content. I had a client that she did, I'll show you something kind of fun that she did. Oh, how do I unpause? Screen share. Boom. You would think this took her a long time, but the truth is all she did was set up her phone and then just went about her day.
We got big stacks, no cap, no fats on my make tracks, make cash, big facts on my hit that roll back in the bands on my drip, got the Gucci on my lens. I really can't complain, I'm passing lane. Yeah, I'm really number one, you can ask him, mate. So Pops know my name, I heard the game like Ash, come fucking it up, like Ash, come fucking it up, ayy. Like you heard of this, I murdered this, I spend it in a day cause I'm earning this. The burn licking, I'm all black, I'm lurking, bitch.
We did something like this.
We can let July just be July. Let the sun hang in the sky. Clear your mind of all the things. We can let.
So you guys get the idea that people, it doesn't always have to be real estate. It doesn't always have to be like this. Sometimes it can just be you. Also, trend watch on TikTok. If you're not on TikTok, I'm not saying you need to post on TikTok. I'm not saying you need to be some sort of TikTok connoisseur. What I'm saying is that you need to trend watch on TikTok, because 90% of the time, what happens on TikTok hits Instagram about 2 weeks later. So trend watch, spend time, save things that you like, save things that you feel like you could do. Carve a little bit of time out of your week each week. If you take an hour a week and you batch 4 reels, that is either 1 reel a week, or that's 2 reels a week, and then you have to do it again after a couple weeks later. But batching them and doing it all at once is a really great way to save time. These are some tools that I recommend. Content planning, obviously Planoly or Later are going to be great options. Video Shop. I like to edit in Video Shop if Reels is being a pain. You can use third-party apps, then upload them onto Reels. Canva, as we all know, as many of us know, not all maybe, but Canva, this is what I built this presentation on. TikTok, gather that inspiration. #expert, you can search trending hashtags, copy and paste them. You can use Lightroom for photo editing. I also use Tezza, which is an app on your phone. Google Drive is what I use for cloud storage. Skillshare, you can spend $19 a month and you can literally learn anything. You can learn how to play the ukulele and you can learn how to run your own Facebook ads. They have webinars galore. And then of course, a light source, ring light, or a tripod for shooting reels. You guys got this. I know it's a lot of information. I know that Instagram is changing a lot, but again, there's no rush. Don't allow yourself to feel overwhelmed. Instead, take the things that you do understand, focus on them one at a time. And when you feel like you got that nailed down, okay, then you take the next step, and so on and so forth. This is my contact information. You can follow me on Instagram. You can shoot me an email, shoot me a text, visit me online. And my battery is at 7%. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk into the other room while I answer questions.
Awesome, Molly. We really appreciate it. There's got some. Do you want me to read them to you? Or do you want to read them?
Yes, I can. Sorry, let me just grab my
You're
phone.
good.
my laptop charger really quick. I did not think that it was gonna do that.
I think I can speak for everyone in general that certainly me, I definitely learned quite a few gold nuggets today in addition to your trainings. There's always something that pops up, but the way that Instagram has changed, it's really a great presentation for all the agents listening in to be able to kind of dive in and start playing around with it.
Yeah, absolutely. So here, I'll go through these questions real quick.
Okay.
So can you play someone else's reel onto your reels? So that's a really good question. What you can do is you can remix reels. So there's an option where when you go into someone's reel, you can select remix it. And what that does is it puts your reel side by side next to their reel. And that's for like reactions, right? Or maybe somebody posts a reel that has information that maybe isn't fully accurate. What you can do is then remix the reel and you can say, hey, these are my 2 cents and this is what I think. So although you can't play someone else's reel onto your reel because that like taking someone's content and reposting it as your own is copyright infringement, you can remix it so that it's there and then you can add your reaction and add your 2 cents. Let's see, how can you use the reel for open house? Just do a quick video and pics of the home. Yes, totally. Reels for open houses is a great way to use reels. It's actually like one of the best ways, especially if you're camera shy. You can essentially like just take a bunch of video clips at your open house. You can compile them into either Instagram Reels app or the third-party app like Video Shop, and you can speed it up, slow it down, add all sorts of effects. Video Shop, I definitely highly recommend you download it. It's super user-friendly. You can edit it. You can like edit all the footage inside Video Shop, download it as one video, upload it to Reels, and boom, you're good to go. You can add some text. But definitely home tours, showing homes, that's great reel content. And her handle for Amber's page. Yes, I will share that actually right here at, actually let me check.
I think Jeff had popped it in. Was it amberco.intheknow?
Yes, that's it. Perfect. Yeah,
Perfect.
She's awesome. Her in the know videos are really great if you're a real estate agent who wants to stay. She shares like all her secrets. She's like very like generous with that type of stuff. So make sure you follow her series, Amber Coat, or her In the Know series. It's awesome. And why are you looking at less posts in hashtags?
So that might not make sense. What I was asking is, I noticed when you were looking at hashtags for content to use, you were looking at the ones that had fewer posts than the ones that had millions. And I always thought it was the words that you wanted to generate were the ones that had millions of people, because then that would be millions of people looking at your post. But you were looking at the words that had fewer viewers.
Yes. So the reason being is like, think about it. Like if you're like a small account, let's say like there's a hashtag that has 500,000 uses and you're a small account with maybe like 200 to 300 followers, the likelihood that your post is going to be the top post on that hashtag isn't necessarily likely. Now, if you're using a hashtag that has like around 5,000 uses and it's local, there's a strong likelihood that your content will become more visible. Now, if you're an account with 10,000 to 25,000 followers and you're using a 500,000 use hashtag, there's a likelihood that your content might be more visible. But the real trick to hashtags and when you're using them is to use a healthy balance of like anywhere, like my rule of thumb is anywhere from like 20,000 to like 2,000. That's kind of like a sweet spot almost for like more smaller average accounts. And the rules are a little different with Reels. Sometimes with Reels, when you use those bigger hashtags, sometimes your content hits a little harder. Hashtags are a little different when it comes to static posts than when it comes to reels. So I don't really have like this like rule of thumb. You know, so many people are like, you're supposed to do this, 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 and this. But the truth of the matter is it's all experimental at this point. And my best advice is just to mix it up and see what happens. And you may, you know, everybody's algorithm is different. So what works for you might work for you, but it might not work for anyone else or for me or for whoever. So don't be afraid to mix it up. And if you want to use some larger hashtags to see what happens, I say go for it. You know, at this point, everything's changing. Why not roll the dice and see what works?
Thank you.
Of course. And how do hashtags work? Can companies or people block the use of a hashtag? Sometimes when I put a particular hashtag in a comment on my post, I get an error saying couldn't post comment. Typically because you can only use up to 30 hashtags. So if you're using more than 30 hashtags, it won't allow you to post because it's just too many. There are some hashtags that are banned by Instagram. I don't know them off the top of my head, but if you like Google like hashtags that are banned by Instagram, you can find them. Instagram will like have a blog or something. There's like not too many, but there are a few. So knowing what those are is a really good way to do that. And then where's your favorite speed? Do we, I know I showed you guys via my phone, but do you guys need to see that again, or do we feel good about that?
I can include a screenshot of it in the follow-up email that I'll send out. I'll make sure to include that in there.
Perfect. And then as a new agent who is new to Instagram, what should you focus on? Reels, stories, both. Definitely both. I say for a new agent, if you could make a commitment. This is what I say for agents that are starting out. This is the realistic DIY strategy. Try to post 5 days a week. Make 3 of those posts reels, and then try to post 3 stories a day, which I know sounds like a lot of work, but if you make a plan, you stick to the plan and you remain consistent, you'll see results. And they may not come overnight. You might plateau. You might see big results and then a dip, and then a slow, steady grow, and then a plateau, and then a dip. But that's just the way it is sometimes. And a lot of people, they focus so heavily on the numbers and the analytics, when in reality, what's most important is the relationships. So when you do get comments, when you do get interaction, get in the DMs immediately and start sending those voice notes, start solidifying those relationships. Will a new full screen disappear like TikTok after a short period of time? The full screen, I still have a full screen TikTok. So I think that that's what is happening, is that Instagram's just trying to be more like TikTok because they're trying to run TikTok out. Unfortunately, what TikTok has that Instagram doesn't is community. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but anybody else get promote this post now on AZ Live 105. Like, you know, you get 12 of those comments, right? Where TikTok doesn't have any bots. They don't have any spam. It's real humans. And I think that's something that if Instagram is going to beat out TikTok, it's not going to be whether or not there's a full screen or not. It's about rebuilding that community. So we'll see. I don't think Instagram will keep the full screen, if I had to guesstimate. But TikTok, I still see the full screen, and it works for TikTok because that's how it started, right? Should I use my domain name as my Instagram name? And when you mean your domain name, do you mean like your website? Jill,
I believe
still
so.
on?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So I would say, like, it doesn't have to be your domain name, but definitely maybe something similar. So like you could do like your first name, last name, like real estate. But I definitely think that having something to do with real estate and your name as your Instagram handle is important, right? People will know immediately what you do, but don't feel like it has to match your domain name if you don't want it to. And then the list of tools, again, I will email this presentation over to Justin. That way you can like send it out to everyone. That way everyone can just like go back and refer and look at it. Any other questions, guys?
Awesome.
Awesome.
Thank
Cool,
you
I
guys
know.
so much. Thank you, Molly. We really, really appreciate your time. And it's just packed full of information that's going to be super useful.
Yeah, it's so much information. And again, I know it can feel very overwhelming, but I promise you, like, don't get off this call and think, oh my gosh, I have so much to do. Take baby steps. Take baby steps. Take a chunk of this information, focus on it one at a time, and keep going. There's no race. Your business isn't going to fail overnight if you're not pumping out 15 reels a day. Take your time, have fun with it, and relax. It's just Instagram.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I'll make sure this is recorded. So I will make sure that everyone gets a follow-up email with the recording. It will be available on Rock University as well. And I'll also make sure that Molly will send me the training deck, and we will get that out to you guys as well. So if you jumped on after the beginning of the call, I'm going to put our Instagram handle in the chat box as well. Just search on Instagram, Rock University, shameless plug there. But I will pick someone from everyone that follows us today to win a $50 gift card to our rockstarshop.com. So if you haven't done it already, make sure you go there and follow us, and I will let everyone know the winner in that follow-up email as well. And please go follow Molly. She makes really good content for you to follow, some funny content as you saw with the margarita one. So definitely check her out as well.
I do love my margaritas. All right. Thank you guys so much for having me, Justin. As always, it's a pleasure. And I look forward to the next one, hopefully.
Awesome. Most definitely. Have an amazing weekend, everyone. Hopefully we get some rain, and we will see you on the next training. Take care.